Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey guys, hey y'all, hey ladies, how are you? For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Mimi E. I am a shaman, spiritual teacher, intuition coach. Pretty much, I help women to tap into their spiritual gifts. If you're not aware by now, we all have spiritual gifts, and sometimes we just need somebody to help pull them out of us. And so that's what I do. So I'm going to get right to it. This workshop is how to trust your intuition even when you doubt yourself. If you're like me, I know that you have had times where you doubted yourself, you doubted your intuition. Your intuition was telling you to do one thing in this area, and you were just like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing. And oftentimes you find that you went and did your own thing, and let's just say it didn't work out like you thought it would, right? That is what I do. I help people to learn to hone into that voice of intuition that's speaking to them. That voice that's just there to let them know that no matter what, we got you. We got you. Your intuition is a part of you. It's your internal GPS system. And the more you learn to hone into it, the clearer it gets, the more confidence you feel, the less doubt you feel. You just got that shit in the bag. You feel me? So I'm just going to get right to it. If you don't already, you can follow me on Instagram at oracle.mimi, or on TikTok at oraclemimi, or you can go to my website, which is magicalmess.co. All right, now, just short story about me. I come from the corporate background. I worked in sales and marketing my whole entire career. Straight out of college, I just hit corporate and just started running. I started climbing that corporate ladder. I started doing trade shows and conferences. Eventually, I landed in the tech space. And my last corporate job was a senior sales and marketing director over at a tech firm. And it was great. It was awesome. But I got to the point where all of a sudden, every day I was crying whenever I walked through the door at work. And I couldn't understand why. To me, I was having a mental breakdown. I was like, what is going on? I got the job, I got the house, I got the car, I got all the things that my family's been telling me to get my entire life. For those of you guys who don't know, I am from Haitian descent. So my mom and dad, they literally strive to get to this country in order for me to have a better life. And I had gotten to the place where in my book, I had started to achieve all the things that they had worked so hard for me to get. But yet I'm at this job and I'm like boo-hoo-hooing every day. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I had no identity. I had no clear ideas what was going on. I was just like shook up. And so I just was like, all right, Maria, only thing I knew was to work, because that was the only programming I had received, to go to work, get a good education, and get a good job. So all I knew how to do was work. And this was back before it was entrepreneurial times where everybody was an entrepreneur, everybody had a business. This was back before then. So I'm kind of dating myself here. But I'm just telling you that if you are in the corporate space, or if you are working for these companies and you feel like you don't fit in, you feel like something is calling you to leave, I was right where you are. I was right where you are. I'm telling you this from the depths of my heart. I was right where you are. And so what did I do? After about 3 months of just like literally pulling up to my office and sitting outside the office crying for a good 30 minutes before I walked in and did my job, I got pulled into the office. Because the thing with, when you're a high performer, you are used to doing the work you do, and you can do it in the first 2 to 3 hours of your day, because that's how it is. It's just that we also know how to stretch those 2 to 3 hours and make them fill up 8 hours. And so after a while, I got called into the office and they said that the company was having layoffs. So I'm like, layoffs? I'm like, what they got to do with me? Because I was the highest performer in the company. I was bringing in $1 million contracts on a regular basis. By the time I left the company, I had over $60 million in open contracts. And so they were like, they have to let me go. I was shocked, because never in my life did I ever think that they would let me go. Because as I said, I was the top performer. I was the one doing the work. Even though I didn't like the place, I also knew that I felt safe and secure in the place. You know what I mean? So after that layoff, it was just like, it was like a series of, I don't know what the hell's going on. My life is going, it felt like a free fall. It felt like things were just going in different directions and I didn't know how to control it. And so I just said, you know what? I said, Spirit, I literally said, Spirit, show me the path. What is it you're calling for me to do? I did everything else. I had reached that goal that I wanted to reach. Show me what it is you want me to do. And that's when shit started getting crazy. So after leaving that job, I applied to so many positions and I couldn't find a job. It was as simple as that. No matter where I applied, I could not find a job. And I was trying to figure out what's going on. Is there something wrong with me? And is my resume not good enough? I did it all. I did it all, guys. So if you are in a position that you feel like you've been looking, and nothing seems to be working, I've been there. and so eventually, I just had a dream. I had a dream one night, and I literally saw myself on a tropical kind of island place, and I saw myself with this man. And it ain't that kind of dream, guys. But I saw myself with this man, and he was teaching me. He was teaching me about myself. He was teaching me about my spiritual gifts. He was teaching me about all these things that I knew nothing about. Even though I had been intuitive since I was a kid, in my family, that wasn't something that was talked about. So as a result, I just chucked that off to, I have a special gift that comes every now and then. And it comes in my dreams all the time, every night. But I didn't necessarily know how to work it or activate it. And so as a result, I didn't know anything about that, but I had this dream about this man. And so prior to having this dream about this man, I had a couple of spiritual, what I call coincidences, things that would happen. People would say, hey, have you tried doing this? And like, it would literally be something in which I thought about like the day before. And so that's when I would know, okay, let me go and do that thing. And it would work out. But like, I didn't have anything concrete. It just felt as if I was continually being pushed in a certain direction. So, okay. And so I remember getting down on my knees one night and saying, God, if you are here, if you are with me and you exist, I am asking you to open up a door for me. I'm asking you to open up a portal for me. Open up something for me because I've been applying to these jobs. Nobody's calling me back. These bills are due. I don't know what the hell to do. And I kid you not, that's when I had the dream about the man. And I said, okay, where is this place? Where is this place I'm being called to go? Where is it? And at the time, I had watched the movie Eat, Pray, Love. And so at that time, I knew it was Indonesia. Like, I was like, if it's Indonesia, give me confirmation. I went back to sleep, had another dream again. Like, this was like a few days later. I had another dream again, and I saw myself in this beautiful rice paddy place and palm trees and all these beautiful, amazing things. And I said, oh my gosh, I think I'm being called to go to Indonesia. I had never been to Indonesia. I had no plan to go to Indonesia. I was just like, okay, I saw it in the movie. It looked beautiful. And I just said to myself, you know what? I'm going to make it to this place. I don't care if it takes me 5 years. That was just something that came out of my mouth. So I said it. I said, I don't care if it takes me 5 years. I'm going to get to this place. This was back in 2011. And so I was just like, okay. And that was it. So life happened. I worked a series of projects and contracts here and there, but I never went back to corporate. And within that whole time, my spirit was being just kind of just growing. I started doing my own internal work. I started growing. I started seeking out things to really help me get grounded. I started meditating. I started getting within myself. I just started doing things that made me feel good. And so I kid you not, guys, 2016, someone reached out to me and said, hey, I need your help. Can you help me clear some things out in my home? I said, sure, no problem. No, I didn't say sure, no problem. I said, what? They said, I want to clean out my house. Can you help me clear out some things in my home? I said, okay, fine, no problem. I'm not going to think about it, whatever. But I have to admit that I felt a little unsettled because I'm like, here I am, bachelor's degree, master's degree, all this stuff. And somebody's asking me to clean out their house. I said, whatever. I'm just going to do it. Fine. I did it. And so I said, what do you want me to do with these items? And she was like, you know what? Toss them, give them away. I don't care, whatever. So I had rented a U-Haul truck just to help her clean out these items from her home. And so immediately after loading up the truck, I was just kind of going through the items and I realized they were valuable. They were valuable. And during this time, I was like, oh shit, like I really hit the jackpot. And this is stuff in which this person didn't want. And I said, okay. I took all the items. I sold them. I made a good amount of money and I bought a one-way ticket to Bali, Indonesia, where I found my teacher, the same man that was in my dream. And I knew that I was going to Bali. All I said was, I'm going to go there and I'm going to meet my teacher. And I don't know what else is going to happen. I wanted to teach English while I was there. And that was it. Those were my only two goals, to teach English and to meet my teacher. Fast forward, I was there my first day. I was there. I had to learn to ride a motorcycle. One thing about me, I pick up on things really quickly. I learned how to ride a motorcycle in literally like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I hit the road because that was the only way to get around. And so I hit the road and everyone kept telling me, you have to try this vegetarian shop. It's down the street. You have to try this vegetarian shop. Everywhere I went, everyone kept telling me that. I said, okay, fine. Finally, I went to the vegetarian shop. And when I went, I wound up talking to some guy. He seemed like a regular guy, and he was Indonesian, and we were just talking. We wound up spending the entire afternoon just talking. So he was like, oh, how'd you get here? Blah, blah, blah. Why'd you come? I said, I don't know. Spirit told me to come, so I just came. And I kid you not. And he was just like, okay, come back. And so as I was leaving, I said, how can I get in touch with you again if to hang out or whatever? He's like, I own this place. I'm the owner of this vegetarian place. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. I said, okay, cool. I said, I'll be back then. Okay. So I went home that night. I kid you not, guys. I went to sleep and I had a dream all over again. And this dream, I heard the Spirit of God said, that's your teacher. I sent you there to go meet that man. He's going to teach you everything you need to know about yourself, about the Spirit. He's going to teach you everything that you desire. And I was like, what? So next morning, I got up bright and early, got dressed, super excited. I drove back to his shop. And like I got there and I was like, yo, Tony, you're my teacher. That was his name, Tony. I said, you're my teacher. You're my teacher. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, I literally had a dream and Spirit said, you're my teacher. And he was like, wow, okay. Everyone in the town knew him as this amazing entrepreneur that owned several businesses in the town. And he was just an amazing entrepreneur from Jakarta, Indonesia. So when I came to him and I was like, you're my teacher, he was like, nobody knows that I am a monk. I'm a Buddhist monk. I'm a Buddhist teacher, as well as I teach neurolinguistics and meditation and all this. He said, that's something I did years ago. And he said, it's part of my training, but pretty much nobody knew that. So he was like, the fact that you know that, I know that the Spirit is sending you because nobody here knows that. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So that's how I found my first shamanic teacher, to kind of help me to begin learning my intuition, begin connecting to myself in a way that I'd never been taught, and to really help me to listen to when my intuition is speaking to me, using the entire world as like the Ouija board, let's say, or whatever. And so that was how I began my internal intuition, spiritual development journey. Even though I had always had the gift since I was young, no one had trained me on how to use the gifts. And so just imagine this. Just imagine I give you a stapler. You can have a stapler. You're walking around every day with this stapler. You have papers that need to be stapled, but nobody showed you how to put the papers in and press on the stapler. So maybe one day you'll say, okay, let me try it on my own. Maybe. But there's no clear, there's no sure way to know if you would do that one day. So that was me with my gifts. I was intuitive my entire life. Spirit was always speaking to me in dreams and visions. My ancestors would come and talk to me. Dead people would always come and talk to me and tell me next steps and give me messages to pass on to people. But I did not know how to use these informations because I wasn't trained. So that's what happens when you have the gift and no one trains you. Back in the, I like to call the olden days, people used to go to the local shaman or teacher in order to learn how to use their spiritual gifts. Once a parent realized that how their child had spiritual or intuitive gifts, they would send that student to go and apprentice with the local shaman, who would then train that child how to use their gifts. So that as that child is growing up, they learn how to use those gifts, learn how to manipulate energy, learn how to correct any imbalances in themselves and in others. So as time has evolved, and we have industrialized societies and capitalism, I will always tell you about capitalism. We have disconnected from the ways that our ancestors used to activate their gifts. And so this is why I'm passionate about the work that I do, because I literally help people to begin to unlock their spiritual gifts. And to me, it's literally a gift. So yes, so first and foremost, I am an intuition coach. So with that said, I'm going to do an exercise here. I have a couple of Post-its, and I want you to guess which one I am referring to, okay? So give me a second. Let me grab my little Post-its, and you can tell me which one you think I'm working with right now. Uh-oh, everything's moving all over the place. All right. Hold on, let me get things back together again. Okay, so I have a green, yellow, and a pink Post-it. Green, yellow, and pink. So right now I'm holding a Post-it, and it is in the palm of my left hand. No, I'm sorry, my right hand. Now I want you to close your eyes. Take a deep, deep breath. Envision me holding that Post-it in my right hand. What is the first color that comes to you? Is it green? Is it yellow? Is it pink? I'm gonna give you a second to think about it. Remember, with your eyes closed, I want you to envision me with that Post-it in my left hand. I'm sorry, right hand. What color is that Post-it? Is it green? Is it yellow? Or is it pink? Okay, I'm gonna give you one more second. If you said green, you'd be wrong. If you said yellow, you'd be wrong. You can't even see it with the light. The color of the Post-it that I'm holding in my hand, in my right hand, is pink. So there are a couple questions. First of all, if you got it right, congratulations. Congratulations. It just means that your intuition is, even if it's not activated, it's probably you probably use it enough to connect to yourself. If you didn't get it right, I want to ask you, what thoughts came up in your mind? Did you think, well, maybe it's pink, but maybe it's yellow too? Like, what thoughts did you think about? Did you find yourself doubting yourself? That you may have thought pink, but something told you, no, it's yellow. That's number 2. And number 3, did you feel like it was pink, or like, did you experience a voice that was telling you, yes, it's pink, but you overrode that voice and said, nah, it has to be another color. It has to be green. So just take some time and think about it and write the answers down for yourself. And for that, I'm going to ask you, when did you first learn to override your intuition? That's a deep question. I told you we're going to get into some stuff today. When did you first learn to override your intuition? What does that mean? That means that when your intuition comes to you to tell you something, you say, oh, no, it can't be it. And you override it. So this is a question that I want you to take some time and answer for yourself. When did you first learn to override your intuition? All right, in order to understand energy, you have to understand that there are 3 bodies. Even though we have one physical body that is present here, we are made up of 3 bodies. We are made up of the mind body. That is our mind, our thoughts, everything. The mind has the power to control the physical body. Okay, and so that's the second body. Third body is the spiritual body. The spiritual body is the soul, the energy that lives within us. That's the spiritual body. You can also call it the energy body. Everything happens in the spiritual body first. I'm going to repeat that again. Everything that you experience in this lifetime is going to happen in the spiritual body first. What does that look like? That looks like, have you ever had a deja vu? Where it's like a dream or some kind of lucid state where you experience that something happened already? It's because in the spirit body, it already happened. So, for example, have you ever had a dream that you were going to meet somebody or something was going to happen? And then, even if it's not the next day, but like within a couple of days later, even a month later, that same thing that you felt like was going to happen happens? That's because it happens in the spirit body first. Everything that we experience happens in the spirit body first. That's why you have dreams about people who don't like you, who are talking behind your back. That's why you have dreams about things at the job that are going on. And you go to work like, oh, this is strange. When in reality, the spirit body, that thing has already happened. Before they let me go at the job, I had a dream that they were going to let me go at the job. 100%. I had a dream that I went into work and they were like, hey, we just want to talk about some things and this and this. First of all, the people at the job didn't talk to me because I didn't want them to talk to me. I got my job done. I did everything I had to do and that was it. So there wasn't a lot of chit chat between us. So the fact that they were calling me in to have a conversation, I knew that something was up. So I had a dream about that first in my spirit body. But like I said before, I wasn't trained to know or understand what my spirit body was telling me. So because of that, I felt like, oh, this is a weird dream. I would wake up like, it's so weird. I had this crazy dream about the job. When in reality, that it was happening in my spirit body yet to inform my mental body, my mental body, which is me, which is my mind, to just let me know, hey girl, this is what's going on. And so what happens is that the spiritual body is where our intuition lives. Our intuition lives in our spiritual body. We all are spiritual beings. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you understand it or not, these are things that you don't necessarily have to be all in or be all in for it to be happening in your life. Just like we're breathing air. We don't see it, we don't touch it, but we know it's there. Same thing. When we all are spiritual beings and our body, our physical body is like the vessel. It's like the case that we are in. I don't know the best way. So it's like when you get into your car. You are in your car, but you are not a car. You know what I mean? So your spirit is in your body, but you are not your body. Does that make sense? So your body exists to take care of you, protect you, to house your spirit, but you are not your body. I'm going to say that again. You are not your body. You are the spirit being that is within the body, but you are not the body. Okay? Okay, now that we got that over with. So your spirit body communicates to you things in which you can't see, touch, hear, or feel. So your spirit body is going to always communicate these things to you. So that's where, like I said, your spirit body houses your intuition. So you cannot minimize your spirit to just your intuition. No, your intuition is just one part of your spirit that speaks to you. So that it's like your internal GPS system, so that you can learn to navigate around this world. And that's it. So it's, as I said, your spirit body is your internal GPS that helps you to learn to navigate around this space. So what happens is that, as I said, we are 3 bodies: mind, spirit, and the physical body. what happens is that the mind is in a constant battle with the spiritual body. So the mind body is in a constant battle with the spirit body. The spirit body, you'll find that it's right here. It's when you get heart sensations. Your mind body is your mind. Your mind body's constantly battling the spirit body. The spirit body don't battle. The spirit body's like, yo, bro, I know who I am. I ain't gonna fight you. It just is what it is. But the mind body's always trying to take over. So that's where doubt comes in. Doubt comes in through the mind body. So your intuition could tell you something, and your mind body's like, but is it really true? Girl, don't you remember last time you thought that you were wrong? So I'm going to teach you how to identify when it's your mind body versus when it's your spirit body, because they're different. So here are a few ways. A few ways to determine your spirit body from your mind body. It seems simple, but it's not easy. It's like once you get the hang of it and you begin practicing it and you begin training your intuition, it becomes a lot easier, but it's really through practice like anything else. So give me 1 second and I'm gonna teach you this. All right. So the spirit speaks quietly. The spirit speaks like, have you ever thought about buying a car? It'll feel like something just so matter-of-factly. It'll feel so simple, so easy, and just matter-of-factly. Versus the mind will say, girl, you need to buy a car right now. Oh, you need to buy a car right now because it's getting cold. And then after that, and then after that, you're going to be out there in the snow and this and that. And it's going to list all these things that are going to build up anxiety and doubt in your heart. Your spirit is just going to give you a simple information. Mimi, why don't you buy a car? And that'll be it. It's not going to be no additional emotions that are rooted in fear, worry, or doubt. That's when you know it's your mind. Second thing, spirit speaks confidently. Spirit speaks with an air of confidence. An air of confidence that's going to allow you to just know, ooh, this is it. So when I say spirit, I'm meaning your intuition. So your spirit communicates through various ways to you, but spirit is going to definitely communicate through your intuition. So spirit speaks confidently, like, girl, did you see how you did that one thing and it came out so awesome? Maybe you should do more of that. That's it. That's it. The mind is going to tell you, girl, you saw how you did that one thing and everybody liked it. You need to continue to do more of that and keep doing that, and then you can make a lot of money. That's another thing. Spirit knows that you are abundant and that all your needs will always be met. So Spirit's never going to tell you, you need to do this to make money. No. Spirit has given you a roadmap. So your intuitive self knows that it's already abundant. And so it's going to steer you in the right direction, but not doing it in such a hasty way to make you start going crazy and all over the place. Spirit will always give you the same answer no matter how many times you ask. I'm going to say that again. Your intuition will always give you the same answer no matter how many times you ask. So even if you be like, all right, Spirit, I want you to talk to me. I want you to talk to me in a way that's going to make me see boom, 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 boom. And you ask. And it gives you the answer. All of a sudden, the answer comes by way of a thought. It can come to you in a dream. It can come to you by someone coming and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing X, Y, and Z? And it's the same thing that you ask Spirit to show you. So it could come a variety of ways. But it's always going to be the same answer, no matter how many times you try to dice it up. Whereas your mind is going to tell you, oh, you should do this, or maybe this, or this, or this. And then that time you did this, that worked. And so you should do that. So it's going to feel confusing. What else? The messages in which you receive from your intuition, from your spirit self, is going to feel calming. It's going to feel like it's bringing such a sense of calm to you. Like, oh my, okay, I never thought about that. Okay, I'm going to move forward in that. And so it's going to feel like easy, just like a sense of calm. It's going to give you peace, okay? The answer is going to give you peace. Even if it's a hard decision you have to make, you're going to feel at peace with the decision because your intuition, which is connected to spirit, is going to just give it to you and let it go. Spirit or your intuition will always send confirmation. So even if you got an answer for something, whether it was a dream, thought, vision, idea, and you were kind of confused about it, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how to make it work. I don't know. Spirit will send somebody. Somebody's going to say, hey, girl, it's so weird. I had a dream about you. In the dream, somebody told me to say boom, 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 boom to you. That's weird, right? Or somebody outside at the coffee shop. It can be anywhere. Could say, have you ever thought about doing X, Y, and Z? And the thing they tell you is the thing that you've been waiting on an answer for. You know what I mean? So your intuition, you have to allow it to show you how it communicates to you. For everybody, it's different. Everyone's intuition communicates to them in a different way. For me, my intuition it communicates to me in dreams and visions. It communicates to me by like me just sitting still, meditating. In meditation, I get a lot of downloads and answers. Or just being present with myself too. It communicates with me in that way. It communicates to me in the shower. It will just say, I'll just be in the shower, like singing my favorite thought, and it feels like a sharp idea that just came from and just landed. Like it's not something. Most of the time, it's not something I ever thought about, and it just comes and it lands. And so that's when you know your intuition is speaking to you. Also, if you aren't clear, if it's your intuition speaking to you, always ask for confirmation. So for me, I like asking for confirmation, especially when it comes to the big things. Because sometimes we just need that extra oomph, that extra bit of support to just let us know, like, yeah, girl, I got you. And so I always like literally just place my hand on my heart and be like, Spirit or intuition, I want you to show me, is this the right decision I'm making about boom, boom, boom? And then either it'll come in a dream, either someone will come and confirm it to me. Whatever way it comes to you, it's definitely going to come to you. I'm telling you, the minute you activate spirit or your intuition, you're going to get the answer. So be ready for that. When your mind speaks to you now, you'll always feel confused. That's what I'm going to say. When your mind is speaking to you, you will feel a sense of confusion, doubt, worry. You will feel like, okay, yeah, I could do this, but I could also do this too. And I can do that. And I can also do this too. With spirit is a feeling. It's an internal feeling. You feel it here. Your intuition, you will feel it right here. You'll feel like, oh, okay, this is the right way for me to go. But with your mind, it's like it's coming from your head. So it's really heady. You start thinking about multiple answers. You start thinking, okay, I could do this, but I could also do that too. And it's just a sense of confusion. Also, with your mind, it tends to rationalize things. It tends to rationalize and choose logic. It tends to say, well, if I go here and do this, I could do that first, and I could do this second, and I could do that third, as opposed to saying, what do I feel like doing? Do I feel like going to a grocery store today? Yeah, I can go for some good oranges. That'll make me feel really good. So that's when you know it's your intuition versus your mind. Your mind is going to base on logic. Your mind is going to say, yeah, I can go to the grocery store, but actually this place is closer. The auto shop is closer, so I can go to the auto shop first, and then I can go to the grocery store. But then you realize that by the time you go to the auto shop, you spent too much time there because it was a long line, that you don't have the energy to go to the grocery store now. And so your intuition is always leading you to the next thing, where to go. But most of the time, as I said, we learn to override our intuition and do the thing that seems logical, the thing that seems rational, as opposed to doing the thing that we feel like doing. So also with your mind will always pull information from your past, from your obligations, the way that you've done things before. This is how you know it's your mind and not your intuition. With your mind, it'll say, well, this person came to your birthday party before, so you might as well go to her birthday party. That's the way things go. You gotta go. And even though your spirit is saying, girl, I don't want to go. even though your intuitive self is like, girl, no, you shouldn't go. Your mind is like, girl, you need to go because she came to your party and she bought you a gift and she did that. Whereas your intuition is like, I'm not with it. So, well, one of the last things I'm going to say on this particular topic is that with your mind, you will always feel like it's a decision you're making with your brain, with your mind, as opposed to making it with your heart. And I say that to me, with your heart, you feel things. You feel into a decision. With your mind, there's no feeling associated with it. It just is or it isn't. And so that is a big way to combat your intuition versus your mind. So right now, I'm just going to repeat this exercise for you. And I want you to, once again, I have 3 Post-its, yellow, green. This has a bit of orange in it, but we're just gonna say the pink one. So I have 3 Post-its. And I want you to take a deep breath. With your eyes closed, I want you to just think about it. Which Post-it am I holding in my left hand now? Is it the red? Is it the red? Is it the yellow one? Is it the pink one? Or is it the green one? Which Post-it am I holding in my left hand? So take a moment and I want you to visualize me. With your eyes closed, visualize me holding the Post-it in my left hand. Take a deep breath. And if you want to, place your hand on your heart. Say, intuition, I want you to show me which Post-it is she holding with her left hand. All right. You ready? So if you said that I was holding the green Post-it with my left hand, you would have been accurate. So I want to ask you, what changed? Did you feel a little bit more confident making that decision? Than before? Sometimes with your intuition, it's a relationship. Not even sometimes, all the time. With your intuition, you have to build a relationship with it. If there's no relationship with your intuition, it's like kind of shooting arrows in the dark. And take it from me, I've done that for a large part of my life. And unless that works for you, I wouldn't suggest it. So here's some things in which I would suggest. First of all, if you are looking to really, really begin building your relationship with your intuition and hearing it and activating it and all that good jazz, I'm going to recommend my intuition coaching, which also comes with a energy clearing session. So what this does is that it just clears the energy, the stagnant energy around you, that helps you to begin identifying your relationship with your intuition, and as well as what is the relationship you hope to build with your intuition. So this right here is a one-time session, but I'm gonna tell you that you've been spending years ignoring your intuition, so it's not going to be healed or fixed in a one-time session. What a one-time session will do is that it raises the awareness to what you're experiencing. And so what I would recommend is a 3-session package for intuition cleansing and healing, because it takes about 3 to 6 months for you to begin to feel a shift in energy in anything that you're doing in this life. So for example, if you have started taking up running, for example, and like you've been running for like a week or 2, chances are you're probably seeing slight differences in your body, but not really seeing anything much different. But after about 3 months, you will definitely see a difference in your body. So that's 90 days. And so I recommend anyone that is looking to begin to develop the relationship with their intuition, clear out old negative thought patterns, old negative stuff that's been keeping their intuition blocked. I would recommend that. that service for you. So you can find it on my website, magicalmess.co, as well as other services, other intuition healing, as well as spiritual awakening services in which I offer goddess initiations and such and such. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is mimi@magicalmess.co. It was such a pleasure connecting with you, and I hope to see you again. Follow me on Instagram, oracle.mimi, on TikTok, Oracle Mimi, and I look forward to connecting with you. Thanks again. All the best.